And Brian Marshall of VNet is joining us now for this week's segment, Technology Now. We're taking a closer look at those ATMs, other banking machines that we quite often use to deposit money, get money out. But of course, we've got to be wary of what now?
Yeah, I think you had a story last week that you ran that talks about, people putting devices on them
Yes.
and sort of intercepting your card. So it sort of brought up to me, it's like, okay, so what do we do about it? Right? I mean, it's nice to know that there's bad things out there, but how do we protect ourselves?
Right, and how do you know that that's the case?
Right, so you probably can't know, right? You're probably not an engineer, you probably don't know for sure, but the first thing you want to do is be looking at it. If the machine looks tampered with, I'm absolutely not using it. If I can tap, I want to tap if I can.
Yes.
Right, I don't want to put something in, I want to be watching for that. But then I've got to be really diligent on watching my bank account. When I use one of these machines, I want to go back and check and see what's out and what's been going on. Are there any weird transactions? Because when you're dealing with your direct bank and your direct money, that can be very devastating if all of a sudden it's gone.
Right.
I'm not telling you something you don't know.
Right.
So it's really important that we're checking on that to make sure that everything is kosher.
Can you, if somebody has tampered with one of those machines, whether it be at an ATM or even in a store, if you jiggle it or lift the device, can you then tell?
You'll usually see that it looks fatter than it should be, right? Because it's the thing that they're pushing into it or sticking on it or trying to get in there, it takes up space. Those machines are designed to be very sleek and slender. Yeah. If it suddenly is about, now look, if you run into an old machine that's been there for a long time, it might look that way, but any modern machine is very sleek looking. As soon as there's any kind of protrusion or something that looks off, I would avoid that machine.
You should know. But a lot of our cards do come equipped with that chip, and a lot of machines now are allowing you to tap to do your transaction, and that is a better way to go these days.
I think so. I think that's the right
Until
thing
they figure out how to steal that.
Sure, that they're there. Well, that's another thing to watch for, right? If I'm looking around the machine, I want to make sure there's not devices around it, that somebody's not there with some device that could try to intercept that code or cameras, et cetera. You've got to be protecting it all the time.
Yeah, because you're putting in that PIN quite often, especially when you're at a bank machine and an ATM. But again, I think the moral to the story, like you said, is keep an eye on your bank account. And if you see something fishy, what do you do then?
Well, you need to report it, right? If you think there's something wrong with that machine, there's clearly a number there for the bank, et cetera. You need to go inside, see the bank. You need to tell them that you think something's wrong. Let them check it. Let a professional look at it. Don't just risk it and think it's probably okay.
Right.
Definitely want to let them know. We want to extend this too to if you get text messages, et cetera, about your bank card, about those things. I think we talked about, lots of things with tolls, et cetera. This goes to your banking too. If you're getting weird messages, please be diligent. Make sure you're not just reacting to those things.
Call your credit card yourself, call your bank yourself just to double check, right?
Absolutely.
Always great tips. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and coming up, we're